Talarico presents himself as a moderate, a different style than Jasmine Crockett. The message is similarly radical, and that's loved by the media.
Crockett and Talarico. They're two of the most effective communicators in the entire Democratic Party right now.
They look like a great pair of running mates. You know what I mean? Like, can one of you just be vice senator?
All right, joining me now, GOP consultant Vinny Minchillo and the host of the Ben Ferguson Show, Ben Ferguson. Guys, it's great to see you.
I almost cried when she died. I mean, when, like, it was just like the campaign died. It was so sad. I wanted her to win. I wanted that victory for her last night.
If there was a rig, it would have been in her favor. If Republicans had a say, it would be Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, I mean, I would almost send her money. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, keep that candidacy alive. Like, that's who I want to run against. She's like, you guys took it from me. No, I promise. I almost wanted to vote for you.
Right. Why didn't we do more to help her? I mean, I really thought
she kept talking a lot. That was her biggest problem. I did everything I could, but then she would open her mouth. That's how it works with her.
Yeah.
Vinny, the thing is, James Talarico is perhaps more radical than Jasmine Crockett.
Yes.
He just wraps it in a more palatable wrapping paper, a more palatable sales pitch. But I am concerned. I do worry. Will people get wrapped up in this, skin suit of Christianity while selling the wokest of woke left politics?
I think it depends on the matchup. What James Talarico's got to start doing right now is going to talk to those moms in those suburban counties in Southlake, Collin County that go, well, he's a nice boy. He looks nice. He quotes the Bible. He sounds a little like somebody I know. So that's the group he's got to get. But he needs Paxton in the general to do that. If it's Cornyn in the general, Talarico can just pack it up and go home.
What do you think about that, Ben? Kim Paxton has won a statewide race 3 times. We are waiting on President Trump to make an endorsement in this race and reportedly ask one of the two, Cornyn or Paxton, to drop out. And that's often said, and I understand the political question, but Kim Paxton has won 3 statewide elections.
Yeah, I actually think if you look at last night's numbers, and I'm a numbers guy, how much did it cost Cornyn to not even win when he's the incumbent? Well, you do the math. He spent $78 per vote. Do you know what Kim Paxton spent last night? $5. $5. One guy spent $70 million plus. The other guy spent $5 million. Now, you look at the winning. He only won by 20,000 votes. What does that mean? It means a very simple thing. If the Republican establishment is obsessed with saving John Cornyn, how many other races are they going to lose around the country? Because you have to spend even more money in the general to try to save him. I don't think that Cornyn can win this thing in a general. I think Kim Paxton's a guy that everybody keeps saying he can't win, he can't win. If I was sitting with the president today, I would say, not only can he win, look at how he barely spent any money and almost beat an incumbent senator who had unlimited funds coming not from Texas, outside of Washington, like Washington, D.C. and everywhere else with all the establishment.
Well, the question, whether or not it's Paxton or Cornyn, is how seriously do they have to take Talarico? Democrats have chased this great white whale for a long time. Will turn Texas blue. And he's their latest. He is the fun-sized Beto O'Rourke. He is Wendy Davis 3.0. They've had these saviors several times. Wendy Davis, Beto O'Rourke, James Talarico. I just think it is worth asking, will these clips like I just played, will this break through? Will people see the real James Talarico?
I still think it depends on the matchup, and I disagree with you on this, Ben. I think if it's Cornyn, he wins this along the generic ballot lines. It's a 5 to 7 point victory with very little money being spent. If it's Paxton, the D.C. Republicans have already said they got to push in $200 million to get this thing done. Trump's got 200 million reasons to endorse Cornyn.
Yeah, they're lying, though. Washington's lying. They're lying to stick with their guy. And I'll tell you, the Bush-era days in Texas are over. That night, Cornyn is that guy. He's established Mike. Even the SAVE Act, who's holding it up? He's one of the two. You have the speaker, or the leadership, I should say, in the Senate, Thune, and you have him. Texas voters don't want that. And if you look at how little money that Paxton spent to come in a solid second and to challenge this guy, he didn't buy an election, right? He had actual enthusiasm, Paxton. Cornyn had to buy an election in a primary where he's the incumbent. My biggest worry is you get to Election Day and that 2024 momentum, it disappears for Cornyn because it already disappeared for him in the primary. Donald Trump's on the ballot. Kim Paxton's aligned with him more than Cornyn ever will be. And I hope the White House listens. Like, you look on the ground in Texas. You want to win Texas. Kim Paxton gives you the Trump voters. They will stay home. And that's the biggest concern if he leaves.
Well, we'll hear from the president in a matter of probably hours here on Cornyn and Paxton. In the meantime, America needs to get to know James Talarico.
Amen to that.
Vinny Minchillo, Ben Ferguson, it's great to see you.
Good to see you.
All right.
Thanks, Will.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.